Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. 2020, the year of disclosure, perhaps. It's definitely more than a slow trickle, wouldn't you say, Cindy?
Indeed, it's more than a slow trickle, yes.
Yeah, every single day there's more stuff. Every single day. And so, mysterious object with huge trail of fire spotted above Florida beaches, New Year's Day. Now, I know Dave Dobbs, who is, in case you guys don't know, a good friend of WSO, Steve Olson. He's caught these a lot. I've had a couple people send me in photos of this as well. And there's some debunkers out there that'll say, oh, it's just the sun glowing off the contrails. It's not, not a typical airplane. Is it a rocket launch? Perhaps. Could be a rocket launch. There's a ton of stuff going up in space. A ton, all the time now. And we've touched on the plans of, say, Elon Musk. Tens of thousands of satellites are going to be up in space. So, could this be some sort of unscheduled launch because NASA says it's not theirs? As it says here, was it a rocket? Was it a missile, a UFO? Early risers who were out watching New Year's sunrise on the beach saw something. I knew I was looking at it was either a missile or a rocket, said John Simard, who was taking pictures of the sunrise at Fort Pierce. What I couldn't understand was why I was seeing it in that area, because there's no launch pads out in the ocean. Several reported seeing the object with a fiery trail from Vero Beach to Jensen Beach in the moments before the sunrise. Looks like a rocket, Could be aliens, says Josh Plausch, who looked at the photos from Fort Pierce. It's very easy to speculate. People think they see something, said Sanford Manley, a former historian with Strategic Air Command. Manley says what people saw was actually a contrail of a plane being illuminated by the rising sun. The plane is very high, catching the sunlight before the sun has come up and therefore is glowing red. And he says this phenomenon typically occurs more often with planes during sunsets and sunrises. But I don't know. I mean, I've seen a ton. You guys have seen a ton. And I have seen some things like this. And I have seen some real close-ups. And it doesn't strike me to be just a typical plane. If you want to sell me that it's a rocket, I'd believe it. Some other secret launch perhaps. Another top secret military thing. I wouldn't doubt it at all. But, not a typical plane with a contrail. It just doesn't seem likely. We've had so many things going on. And here we see another cigar-shaped UFO appears over Arizona Airport to end the bizarre 2019 sightings, because there have been a ton in 2019. A ton. And so this is another one, and this was posted by YouTube conspiracist Disclose screen, the Grimreefar. And over a couple days, over 1,000 views. We'll send more his way. As you could see it here, and if we jump over to his channel, which I did subscribe to, give him support. It's got 27,000 subscribers. Go ahead and take a look. And I did blow this up. This looks like a typical cigar-shaped one, and we've seen these before numerous times lately. And so, those that are into ufology, most will say that these belong to the reptilians, the Dracos. So interesting. It seems like there's energy coming off of it.
Yeah, it has a huge energy body. It's really curious. I don't know if maybe that's how it stays in the atmosphere.
Anti-gravity.
Yeah, anti-gravity.
Yeah, and I've noticed that these things, when we blow them up, it seems like they have a lot of energy around them, probably some sort of gravitational field, because it's just hovering there. It's just sitting there, just doing nothing, hanging out, kind of saying, hey, look at me, disclosure underway and in process. So interesting, very interesting. There's so much going on in the skies. It's just incredible. And I was going to put this in a different video, but we might as well talk about this since we're talking about that. And so basically, there's a lot of stuff going into the sky this year. The 7 most exciting space missions of 2020. You have 4 countries sending robots to Mars. Private companies are going to send humans into orbit. Private companies now. and we're inching closer to seeing NASA return astronauts to the moon. So last year was a dizzying one for space, and not always in a good way, but 2020 will prove to be just as busy, if not busier. My bet is way busier. I think we're going to be seeing stuff that's going to blow our minds. And, we went for a hike today, and on the way back looking at the clouds, I said to Cindy, one of these days we're just going to see this 3 or 4 mile long mothership just hovering in the sky. And everybody's going to walk out and just be staring with their mouths open.
They will, you guys. I think the curtains are going to come down this year, and we're going to be able to see what's really up there. Those things never really looked like clouds to me. They always felt fake.
Yeah, there's a lot of cloud cover. So 4 Mars missions ongoing. You have commercial crews as well. You have the Artemis 1 in November. And this is going to be the most powerful rocket in the world that they're allowing us to know about openly. Let's put it that way. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. There's Chang'e 5. This is China. China has 2 missions going to extraterrestrial worlds in 2020. Exciting stuff here. Mega constellation launches year-round. And we were talking about SpaceX. They're not the only one. You know how so many people have been seeing the Starlink satellites, or at least that's what they're telling us they are. And they're seeing as many as 30, 40, or 50 or more satellites in a straight line, just going nice and smooth and slowly across the sky. Well, they're going to launch 600 more by the end of the year. My God, it's going to be a 720 strong satellite network up in the sky. Hey, the good news is broadband is going to be better. Though, what are we going to be looking at?
I don't know. I'm concerned that they're going to use this to say, oh, well, it's going to be a kind of disclosure where the aliens are going to be able to come out and it won't be any big deal because there's already stuff established up there now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mainstream. It's getting to be so mainstream now. And then, of course, there's people that think that there are no aliens, that they're just simply all demons. And, I just think that's just such an ignorant mindset when you look at all the overwhelming evidence. And we did a video on the Nazca lines, and then you got that 2.6 mile long geoglyph down in Australia. We have megalithic structures around the world showing amazing high tech. We have legends of beings in flying machines, Vimanas from India, battles of the gods. Every single culture talks about beings that are in the sky. And we also have almost every single culture that talks about beings that live within the earth. And you see legends of reptilian beings from almost every single culture. And legends of giants from every single culture. I think it's pretty overwhelming that we've never been alone. I just don't know how you could look at all the evidence and just say, well, they're demons. Yeah, they're demons. They gotta be demons. What else could it be? It's gotta be demons. There's life abundantly in this multiverse, and the more we learn about things, the more you realize there's no way we're alone. Absolutely no way we are alone. And so it's just a matter of us realizing that, there is a galactic society out there. And, I do have a source that I trust a lot that is very deep in the know with many, many prominent politicians, as I've seen photographs of this person hobnobbing with multiple presidents, and just, people that are always, on the news. And, the word from them is so much of what we see is just distraction. A lot of the politics we see is just distraction. And really, we are in a galactic society right now. We don't even recognize that or realize it, that there are extraterrestrials that are walking amongst us right now, and many of them look very much just like us. And other ones have abilities to kind of camouflage themselves, we should say. So over here we see a starship to be determined still. And this is SpaceX's reusable interplanetary spacecraft that was unveiled to the world back in September. 'Cause someday it might take people to Mars. And then there's those that don't think we could leave the leave the world because of the Van Allen belts as well. And then we have a new Shepard crew launch to be determined as well. So, don't forget Blue Origin, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, another rival to SpaceX, and you got Virgin Galactic. Space is already well colonized, and again, it's a corporate world that we live in, and it's all about money. If beings were here mining gold, I'm sure they've mined the gold in other planets in our solar system, as well as obviously other planets in other solar systems.
Yeah, definitely. And we found out that gold does a lot more than just look pretty and everything else. It's like medicinal.
Yeah, it could raise your vibrations, most definitely as well. It could definitely help the circuitry of the brain, for one.
Yeah, it can help those, what do you call it, synapsing.
Yes, yeah. So, my friends, as always, thank you for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're on both channels. It's not backup channel, it's the second channel, EEARTS. And look for the new channel that will be coming. That will be all about our tiny home RV adventures. So as always, my friends, keep your eyes to the skies. God bless and namaste.
God bless and namaste.